Hey everyone. Well, it's been a while. I know it's been probably a little over a month that I've recorded a video and posted. So what I want to do is, first of all, how is everyone doing? How is everyone getting through this crazy chaos? We're kind of in that time of transformation. So things will be chaotic. Things are going to probably get more chaotic. Most likely, I'm almost positive, yes, we'll get more chaotic, and it's gonna be challenging. The best thing we can do is be grounded, calm, and be that strong. How do I say? Strong anchor for others who are going to be more in a fear based. So we're seeing a lot of things played out. Much of this is being created by those in power structure that don't want to give up their power. They don't want the planet to shift into a new vibration, new frequency, new dimension. So a lot of it, that's what's going on. So what I want to kind of do in this video is just a brief update, just a couple of things I've gotten. I'm going to do another video on basically the phases or stages of awakening. I think that's a good one to do. I've compiled my own experiences, and I will do that in another video because that'll be a longer video. So what I kind of want to focus on right now is kind of things that are being told to me by my star family, my spirit guides, my higher self, in this time right now that we're in. Big thing is to let go and stop focusing on the past. Stop worrying about the future. Just be in the present moment. Just hold your energy. Work on your individual self. Do things that bring you joy. Stop worrying about other people. It doesn't mean you can't help people, but the best thing you can do is be calm and shift your focus away from what the craziness that's happening. Because the more you hold that frequency in the now, the more you create more enjoyable moments for yourself, the better you're going to help the rest of the planet. Okay? Yes, so be in the now. The more you also experience, the more you stop worrying about the past, the future, whatever, and the craziness, the more you're going to experience the higher energies coming in, the more you're going to feel better. Of course, yes, we all get days that it feels like a roller coaster. It's been like that for all of us. I've talked to so many people that are in the same situation. Right now, humanity really has a choice. Everyone has a choice. Humanity has a choice. Humans have a choice right now to either continue being in duality, continue playing out their karma, meaning continue holding on to that negative, I should say lower frequency and lower frequency dramas or whatever it is. So what I mean by that is continue giving into that. It's always a fight. Okay. So what I mean by that is always in that, they are dark, they're light, or people, I get so many different stories. I don't like this president, or I don't like this politician, or I don't like what's going on in this. It's a constant holding yourself in that frequency. So just let it. The key is let that go. Let that play out. That's going to continue playing out. It's going to continue breaking down. It's going to continue crumbling. You're going to see much more chaos happen. Okay. So humanity has that choice of continue being in that lower vibration, a lower frequency, and continue holding that lower aspect, or they can ascend and shift with the planet herself into fifth dimension, into a new dimension, new energy, which is non-duality in the fifth dimension. There's that choice. So you have that choice. It's about old beliefs that you're letting go of. It's a lot of old, outdated. Basically, it's a lot of old, outdated beliefs. Okay, so that's the choice. You can either continue playing into that game and that they, us against them world. You can continue playing in that sandbox and continue, throwing mud at each other or whatever it is, or that negativity. That's up to you. I broke away from Facebook because, like I said, it was very negative, and I found way too much negativity on there. People have asked me if I would go back to Facebook. Probably not. No. I just didn't like the energy of it, and too many negative people, just because one person's opinion is different from another. Then there's, oh, well, you're dark just like them, or you're this, no, just stop doing that. You're only putting yourself, and you're no more different than those who are creating the negative issues and the problems. When you do stuff like that, you're putting yourself in that drama. You're lowering your frequency. You're lowering your vibration. Just stop doing that. Just be kind to each other. Really, how hard is that? Just be kind. Just say kind things. So those are the two choices, choosing to change your frequency, hold that higher frequency, letting the new energies affect you, moving with the shifting with the earth, because it's going to get more intense, more craziness. This is the transformation process. This is going to build up to this big solar flash event. Now, everyone has the free will to choose. We all have the free will to choose to be to do this, to change our behaviors, to change our frequency, to change our energy, or you can continue being brought into the negativity. It's very easy to get sucked into that negative, what's happening in the polarities, what's happening into the political scene, or the other, whatever it is, the racism that's going on, everything that's going on. It's easy to get caught up into that very dark energy, that low energy, okay? So you have a choice to just pull yourself away from it. If you're comfortable with who you are, and you're comfortable with, and you know how you feel, then that's all that matters. Right? You don't need to prove anything to anybody. There's no proving anything. The only person you have to prove it to is yourself. The choice is ours. So we don't need any. We don't need any leaders telling us what to do. We don't need any societies, or organizations, or people telling us what to do. You make your own choice. We have the choice to let go. Okay, and I guarantee you, when more you let go and choose to not play in those polarities, the better you will feel. Okay, so part of the things that's happening is many of these old wounds from past histories and that are coming up like this. We constantly see the racism thing coming up, and it's really bringing it up to be released. Those who still aren't comfortable with it, those who still have an issue with it, or those on both sides of the spectrum, the polarities, it's coming up to be released, that heaviness from it. And it's done on purpose. These events are created on purpose, definitely. I believe that. Just like these riots were done on purpose for humanity to make that choice. Do you want to take part in the riots and violence, or do you want to do peaceful? So there's a difference here. And I think people have made that choice. Many people have. Now this is leading up to this is leading up to this big solar flash, and I want to talk a little bit more detail about that. And I will reference from Dolores Cannon's book, The 3 Waves of Volunteers, New Earth. I know I reference that a lot, but there is so much good information in there. Now, so the solar flash, okay. So in one of the chapters in the new 3 Waves of Volunteers, the New Earth book, there is a chapter in there that talks about this wind, this energy wind of particles coming through humanity, coming through the whole world, moving in a clockwise fashion through everything. This wind is packed full of highly charged particles, quantum particles, basically, is what it said. This wind changes everything. What the purpose of it is, now this wind, this book was written back in, the session was back in 2000, I believe, 2007. Since then, it's become changed to the solar flash. It'll be an energy from the sun. What I've heard is it's like almost like a particle. It's going to be quantum particles of highly charged energy that will shift the entire and cleanse everything when it goes through. So quantum particles travels through all matter, all physical matter, all consciousness, everything. It will travel through the physical body, through the consciousness, through the inside the planet, and back out. Okay. Now, there are beings and races of different beings that live in inner Earth too. Some of these are how do I say? Some of these are also causing issues on the surface. Okay, so this will. The purpose of this solar flash, it'll be almost like a fog. Now, the way I understand it, and this is what I was told now, is a fog of like a light in it, but it's like a fog almost, but it'll be filled with bright light. This is the physical part. Okay, now this is just what I've been told. So all these chaos is leading up to that breaking point. Now, the way I'm sensing it, it will be this year. I don't know when. The energy, the events build up to that process, okay? But when this particles and this energy comes through everything, it will travel, it will cleanse everything. It's going to cleanse all the pollution from the lakes, oceans, nature, humans. It's also going to, it's necessary to save this planet, because what happens to this planet, in retrospect, can cause, if this planet were to be destroyed, it could destroy the balance in this universe, and it could actually collapse in itself. This is massive. This is big. This is why it's so important to keep save this planet and this energy. So these quantum particles will change everybody's consciousness. What it will do is it'll create like an amnesia in people. What it will do is it'll erase the past traumas that people will not let go of. It's going to basically wipe the slate clean. So many people, because part of the problem why people hold on to negativity so much and lower energies is because of many traumas in their life, or many past traumas throughout history. And so when there's a confrontation or something that comes up, these traumas bring up that energy, and they hold on to that negative energy, or that resentment, or that hatred, or whatever, that fear. Basically, it's all fear. And that people won't let go of that. They don't deal with those traumas. Okay, so it's going to probably many people in humanity will be phased, they will be phased out. They'll be kind of like a sleepwalking almost. It's gonna wipe. Like I said, it's going to go through the consciousness, wipe out those negative. It'll be like amnesia. They won't remember past traumas that they've went through in this life or other lifetimes. This is so they can build a clean slate. Now, what somebody had asked, well, what about the negativity that's going to happen? Is this going to cause, are they going to be are they still going to be negative? They can still be that negative, but it won't hold, the frequency won't be there to hold onto the negativity, because it will be a much higher frequency, a much higher vibration, where they're not going to be able to hold onto that dense energy. So it'll be kind of just fizzle out. So let's say they get upset about something, right? And it'll come up and they'll just get upset and they'll go, why was I getting upset about this? And they'll just be like, oh, well, no big deal. And they'll let it go, okay? That's kind of how this energy in the solar flash is going to change everything. Like I said, it will cleanse all the pollution, all the areas, because what's been happening is the pollution from the chemicals in the atmosphere and that have been getting out through holes in the ozone layer, which has been seeping out in the universe. This energy, also not only the pollution, but also the negativity and energy from humanity that's been happening, it affects other dimensions, it affects other planets, it actually has destroyed other planets, and this is what some of these star ET races have said. There are races of beings that are actually trying to clean up this pollution from humanity and Earth. That is why it's so important to not put yourself in this negativity or a lower frequency, because it only causes more issues. If you knew what kind of damage it did, you would change your energy. You would change for the better, because it's only causing more issues with other planets that are also wanting to evolve. It affects all levels of dimension. It does. It affects the entire universe. So this flash will neutralize everything, basically. It'll bring in a new consciousness. Many places, many aspects of water, many areas of the planet, land masses will sink. Water will change. Water will take over. New land masses will rise. That'll be more later on in the process of this new Earth transformation. So that's kind of the solar flash. Let's see, what else do I want to cover here real quick? The other thing I want to talk about is, this is interesting. This was a chapter I was reading in a New Earth book about the Earth grids, the etheric grids of the Earth, which is the astral realm, and the Earth grids, which is the physical realm. Back in, and this is from a chapter in the same thing, Dolores Cannon's book, the New Earth book. Back during Atlantis times, when Atlantis was destroyed, a group, and this is from a session taken from that book, so I'm just summarizing it. You can read this chapter in that book if you choose to. Back in Atlantis times, there was a group of more of evolved beings that were helping this planet. There was a group of the Anunnaki, and everybody is familiar with the Anunnaki. There was a group that were benevolent, okay? They were here, very tall, very brown-skinned, long black hair, very beautiful beings. They were trying to heal the planet and from this negativity and they were here during the Atlantean time. And what happened was there was a group of Atlanteans, beings that were using, because back in the Atlantis times they used crystals for everything. Crystals contain knowledge of the information, the history of things on the planet. And back during that time, a group of beings were using, mainly for selfish reasons and greed, the crystal energy. What they wanted to do was create dark matter. They were trying to play with antimatter, dark matter, and they were trying to create a new universe. They were trying to create wormholes. Well, it wouldn't have been possible because the amount of energy to do that would have been, astronomical. But the problem is, because they were messing around with that energy, they could have destroyed the entire Earth and universe. It would have collapsed in on itself. So these Anunnaki, the benevolent ones that were here, created a catastrophe to cause Atlantis to sink, because they had to shut down all the Earth grids. They had to shut down the Earth energy grids and the etheric realm grids. The reason they had to do that is because if they didn't, this could have caused total destruction and the collapse of this universe. So when that happened, when they shut down the Earth grids, it actually shut down the DNA in humans, the 10 strands of DNA that went dormant, because originally everyone had 12 strands of DNA. And so 10 strands of that DNA, when the Earth grids are tied to the DNA in humans as well as the planet. So that has been shut down since that time in Atlantis for safety reasons. Now the knowledge is coming back because the planet is shifting into a higher frequency, and so the knowledge is there to gain access to again. It's gained access through these crystals. So in this session, this client who was back in that time during Atlantis, who was one of the benevolent Anunnaki, had said that there's about 10,000 grid keepers on this planet who are actually reactivating the Earth grid lines and the etheric grid lines. And they're working with more of a spiritual light beings that are working at the astral realm, etheric realm, and then the ones in their physical realm are working with the Earth grid lines. Now, the way they do that is the Anunnaki at that time saved all this knowledge in crystals in during that time. Now, not all crystals contain the information and codes on how to unlock the Earth grids, but many of these grid keepers, what they are able to do is, if they have some of these original crystals, they ask the grid keepers, you can do this too, you can ask the grid keepers to help unlock these Earth grids to connect with the etheric realm grids. What this will do is it unlocks more DNA in humans. So this is the time for that. So that was the whole purpose. I thought that was a very interesting story I wanted to share, interesting session. That kind of summarized it, because a lot of people had confusion and questions about Atlantis and the destruction of Atlantis. So I wanted to kind of, I thought that was interesting history. I really explained it really well. So we're in these very times where everything's being reactivated again. The energies are increasing. That's reason why many earthquakes are happening. When the earthquakes happen and natural disasters happen in the earth, there's an imbalance in energy. So the earth has to release, it creates those natural disasters. When the volcanoes release, it's releasing the energy, the pressure that's building up from humanity, okay? So that's why there's been a lot more natural disasters, catastrophes, of course, some man-made and many that are natural. So this was just really I know it ended up being longer video than I thought it was going to be, but I wanted to share that was the main message in the beginning, was to let go, be in the present, stop focusing on the past, stop focusing on the future, just let it go. Remember, if you do get involved with what's going on in the world, whether it's with the political or these riots or protests, you have that choice. You have that choice to be in that frequency and that low vibration. Just remember, it will lower your vibration. It will bring you to, unless you can look at it as an observer and understand that coming from, it's an experience. It's playing out the traumas of humanity so they can let go. So when you work on yourself and you bring yourself into a higher and hold a higher energy and frequency, you also help those around you and it spreads out, okay? Kind of like a wave, a domino effect. So I would say do what feels right to you, but remember, when you're playing in that duality, then you're bringing yourself into a lower frequency. So please subscribe, please like the video if you have, please send me any questions you have, comments. I appreciate it. Again, I will be doing another video on the stages of ascension. I think I have quite a few, so it might be probably the same amount of, probably maybe a little bit longer video than this, but the main thing is, like I said, just try to be present, I've been doing a lot more meditations lately, which has been helping, and just do it's tough times. So just try to be kind to people, because everybody's going through very difficult situations. And the more kindness you can be to other people, the more that energy it's like a domino effect. So love you all. Thanks for watching my videos. I trust this will get to those who need to hear this, and we will be in touch soon. Thanks.